All right, here we are. Game 2 between Infamous Young and Infamous. Infamous with a 1-0 lead over their sister organization team. And we get right on into this draft. Kato, Legion Commander for Infamous Young, and Infamous pick up Silencer and Puck coming into this second ban phase.
You know, Infamous Young, they go back to that Legion Commander first phase pick that they picked last game, and it sort of worked well for her. Except maybe she didn't do as well in the offlane as she would like to. Definitely got a lot of key blade mail duels that kept them in the game. And this time they mix it up. They first picked the Keeper of the Light, and we haven't really seen this hero too much in the past couple of days. But really, his strength is he's really good against offlaners in general because he can blast a creep wave and then stack and pull and keep the stacks up and really deny as much EXP from the offlaner as possible. And just in general, he's really annoying to play against. There's the mana leak, there's the D push, there's blinding light, and there's just the ability to just have your team be everywhere on the map with you. And Infamous, they open up with Silencer and Puck, two very good teamfight heroes. I mean, Puck's super difficult to kill and super effective in teamfights. And when you combine that with Global Silence, it just makes it even harder for the enemy team to catch the puck.
So they ban out the Monkey King, which has been pretty prevalent in this qualifier, as well as the Lion, something we haven't really seen all too much. Bloodseeker Ursa from Infamous Young. I haven't really been seeing too much of those heroes either, although we have seen both today.
Yep. I mean, the line ban might be to prevent the enemy team from getting something to disable the puck, but I'm curious as to why they didn't ban something like Shadow Shaman instead, which has been super common in this this qualifier. Or that hero, actually. Earthshaker is also a really good hero against Puck and Silencer, just because of the instant initiation. So Infamous Young sort of have two ways to take Silencer out of the fight right now. You can stun him or you can duel him. 10 seconds. Right now, I think Infamous, they have a couple of routes they can go with this draft. Maybe go with some frontliner that they can use, and certainly Clockwork is a pretty decent frontliner, but more importantly, Clockwork can initiate, and then Infamous can follow it up with the Puck and the Global Silence, so pretty solid pick. Also doesn't give out a lot of information about Infamous draft, since there's still 2 more cores, or at least 1 more core to be selected. Okay. Clockwork is more commonly ran as a position 4, at least in the last year, so we'll see where the Clockwork is played this game. But most certainly the Earthshaker is going to be the position 4 for Infamous Young, and whenever you have a roaming Earthshaker, you see them buying lots of clarities, starting with boots, and just being a nuisance in the early game, looking for kills or preventing ganks from the enemy team.
So it is a 4-5 of Earthshaker. Keeper of the Light. Is it more position 4 Keeper of the Light, position 5 Earthshaker? Because Keeper of the Light, at least I would say in the case of GH, you're looking for, you know, that 4-staff Ags as quickly as possible.
It really depends on the team and how they want to run it, but usually GH is also the one that plays Earthshaker, right? And I think whenever you have a support Earthshaker, you should prioritize farm on the Earthshaker, just because that hero really starts to shine when you have that blink for that instant initiation or just big counter initiation in general. And especially when you have a hero like Lifestealer who needs sort of this vessel or vehicle to get into the fight, you need one of these heroes, Legion Commander or Earthshaker, to have a blink, or even better if it's both, because then you have an option depending on what the enemy team reacts to. Infamous responded with Troll Warlord. This hero is most of the time good against Lifestealer, just because you can permanent bash a Lifestealer, you have more DPS in general. The only risk that Troll really has to deal with is if he gets bursted during a duel or during a Echo Slam, so he's got to be really careful of his positioning. Really needs a BKB this game, especially against Keeper of the Light, so we'll see how this pick works out for them.
Yeah, you have the opportunity.
I don't know if you can hear the police siren.
I didn't do anything, so...
Okay.
I did nothing wrong.
Doesn't look like it's picking up, but if it did, I would close my window.
It was a little, but it's gone now. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
Just making sure.
Just hope they know I didn't do anything wrong. Just, you know. Me
Final
being
ban coming up from Infamous.
It's gonna be that TA, so.
Yeah. Probably anticipating a TA pick from Infamous Young, or at least banning the TA to prevent them from picking it in case they decide to pick a hero that gets countered by TA. And TA would be really strong for Infamous Young just because of that burst damage potential and the Roshan potential as well.
It would also be 3 heroes most likely getting a blink, mobility for the lifestealer. That would be high damage output, it seems like, from Infamous.
Also quite good against Troll Warlord, since Troll doesn't break refraction charges easily, just with attacks. I mean, it's quick, but it's not super quick. And TA also sort of secures Roshan for Infamous Young, and somehow Lifestealer is a hero that really revolves around the Aegis, because I think Lifestealer really thrives in a game where he's allowed to get that Aegis or that cheese and just high ground with the Rage. Just like hit the tower a couple times and back off and be able to do that safely because of the second life. So let's see what Infamous picks up here. I think they still have to pick up either a mid or off laner depending on where the puck goes.
Radiant's turn to pick.
They pick up the Nature's Prophet. That puts Puck in the off lane, it seems.
Yep. Actually, it doesn't give them a lot of options to deal with the Lifestealer. Effectively, the only way they lock down the Lifestealer right now is with Hookshot or with bashes from the Troll Warlord. But actually, Silencer is quite underrated against Lifestealer, because Lifestealer doesn't usually want to buy a BKB or doesn't usually buy silence removal in general. So I can imagine if Infamous get the jump on the Lifestealer, that Infamous Young will actually be in trouble, at least until they get some silence removal in the form of BKBs, Yules, and Lotus Orbs, or anything of the sort.
So you're coming into this last pick for the side of Infamous Young. Need a mid, and it's going to be Viper coming out for the side of Infamous Young.
Yeah. This Nature's Prophet adds a little extra element of tower push for them as well. You have the Troll Warlord, who's naturally really good at pushing towers, and now you have Nature's Prophet to help push out waves and create the situations for Troll to really start knocking down objectives. I think the way Infamous have to play this game is to dodge 5-on-5 teamfights, I think, and try to just go for pickoffs here and there, at least until the Troll and the Nature's Prophet have ways of actually closing the gap on enemy heroes, like a Hex Shadowblade on Nature's Prophet and a Blink BKB on the Troll Warlord.
10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining.
Still waiting for the teams to select their heroes. So mid Puck versus Viper. I think the lane's pretty break even. Like they're just last hitting, and Viper can't really bully the Puck the way that Viper usually bullies other heroes, just because of phase shift and because Puck actually has some pretty decent damage stats and escape mechanisms. So I think the only way Viper kills the Puck this game is if the Earthshaker rotates in, and the only way Puck kills the Viper is if somehow the Viper lets himself stay low health.
Expect a pause. Already happening.
Already happening. No. No pause yet.
Surprisingly not, and I kind of.
We have TPs coming out, so Earthshaker's going for this Boots triple clarity build again.
Just trying to.
Foregoing any regen, because why buy it when you're just sitting in the back fishing people? Little smoke ward action happening here. Dire actually got a really deep ward. They planted this ward in front of the top tier 1, so that'll be really helpful for spotting out any rotations coming in and out of the top lane.
Don't hear that one too often. So 1-0 lead for Infamous, looking to close this series out. Move on to the finals that are tomorrow, and they'll be up against DCSA. So let's see if Infamous Young can tie the series at 1, or if this is just going to be a 2-0 sweep. We'll have to see how it goes, as we've got Infamous Young on the Radiant, Infamous on the Dire. It's going to be confusing the whole game, I know, especially without the real names. And we'll be underway in just a moment. Clockwork, I don't know if you really want to be there, especially with the Viper coming through, but the Cogs will take away any potential to be that death for first blood.
Yep. No, that's a lot of space made, because Viper did miss his block. Puck gets the advantage for the first wave.
Very high up onto the high ground for Puck should be an easy time for him.
And we have the Life Stealer versus one-on-one against the Nature's Prophet. I'm pretty sure that Nature's Prophet will win this lane quite hard.
That's a try lane up top for the side of the Dire against Legion and Coddle. Actually, Earthshaker surprisingly low right there. Has to decide to back off as the phase shift avoided one of those auto attacks from the Earthshaker. Goes all the way back. He's down at half health. No shrine to go to, nothing to really make a move on. And just forces him to rotate quite a bit. You take a look over top. Legion going to eat that Arcane Curse. The hits from Clockwork maybe. If he had Battery Assault, that's a kill. But fortunate for the Legion, only level 1.
Not a lot of action happening. I think really the goal of this Coddle tri lane is just to pressure the support so that they don't rotate to the mid lane, and hopefully Coddle gets some stacks in the jungle for himself to catch up later.
And it does open up a lot of space for the Troll, and they're having quite an easy time. 9-3 for the Troll. Viper looking alright made up against this Puck. Both of them level 3, despite missing that first block. Has more last hits than this Puck, struggling at 9-1.
Yes.
Yep. That's another Toxin kicking in. Both roaming supports just going for bounty runes at the moment. Might actually catch one of these this Coddle or this Legion Commander here.
Yeah, Clockwork going in, still just level 1. Again, Cogs are going to be placed right by this little overpass by the stairs. Didn't know what to call that actually. They don't end up getting the kill there either. Again, they don't lock anybody in with Cogs. They don't get Battery Assault. Still level 1 on the Clockwork. And game still even at 0.
Yep. Yeah, Legion Commander is probably not getting as much as she would like to, sitting at level 2 to Troll Warlords level 3. The Silencer and Clockwork have been doing a good job of controlling the lane, and I don't think Infamous Young are getting as much as they want to. And I'll say that there's a TP mid.
Take a look. Puck is going to get first blood onto this Viper with the help of this Nature's Prophet. So once the Viper leaves the lane, there's a second hero here with the Puck at level 4 is the Nature's Prophet. First blood goes the way of Infamous. Take a look up top, and now Silencer trying to run away from both the Legion and the Coddle. Arcane Curse is going to make that easy for him, as they'll be slowed off with the slow of that Arcane Curse. There's Cogs with Battery Assault. 1 kill goes their way. They're trying to get it onto this Legion by the TP. Battery Assault just runs out.
Yep, really well played by Infamous to get that kill up top, and I think that Legion Commander was sort of in trouble in the lane because she ran out of regen, and only sitting at level 2. Troll slowly pulling ahead. think so far this Clockwork's been a lot more effective than the Earthshaker at getting stuff done. There's a double damage top for the puck.
Come out to help this Nature's Prophet get the lifesteal, or is there really no fear in getting taken?
I think there's two supports from Dire are locked up at the top lane, and they don't really want to leave because they're actually getting a lot done in zoning out this Legion Commander. So if anything, the rotation is going to be on the Nature's Prophet from the enemy team, as we see here. Earthshaker has to save his stun.
Yeah, as Nature's Prophet trying to set up. There's the totem, still not going to get the kill. They look now with the Clockwork. If they can find Cogs or Battery Assault, they should get the kill. They have Sprout coming up in just a moment. Meanwhile, over mid again, they're going to get the kill with the double damage with the puck on the Viper.
Interesting solo kill from the puck there, but really well played. Also, there's like a really large creep wave and a siege creep, so this mid tower is going to take quite a bit of damage. And there's actually a potential for Nature's Prophet to rotate in and help do a lot of damage to this tower, since they know that the Earthshaker and the Lifestealer are bottom, but looks like Nature's Prophet will just stay put and get some less its bottom.
Yeah, now already level 6. Top of the net worth is the puck as well as the troll. They're looking pretty good. He's going to TP over mid. They're looking for another kill onto this Viper. Silenced up, and there it is. But they will get that kill onto the Clockwork post-death from the Viper.
Curious as to why the Nature's Prophet is just jungling with the treants instead of dealing like 500 tower damage to the tier 1, but I won't question it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Puck just going to continue to push this mid tier 1. Nature's Prophet making his way back over bottom. Level 6 is this Lifestealer. We're just sitting
This
here.
rotation's drawn out from the Clockwork. He's going to swing by mid again. This Viper's in a lot of trouble. I mean, in the ideal Viper game, either you break even or you beat the mid laner and you're just sitting there for 10 minutes getting last hits, working on that Dragonlance Maelstrom. But this game he's going to be behind. I don't think he'll ever catch up.
Yeah, now with the Earthshaker coming in up against this puck, we have Earthshaker and Viper ready to go. And take a look up top. Actually, Nature's Prophet comes around to get the kill on the Coddle.
Some really good rotations from the Nature's Prophet. I mean, he pretty much had a free lane, so he got all the levels he needed to make these rotations happen. And he might even go for more. They have vision here.
Yeah, might go for this Legion. Gets the Treants out. Battery Assault's going to hit. He's actually getting blocked by the Treants of the Nature's Prophet. So the Battery Assault not hitting onto this Legion Commander, which is probably going to help her get away. They've got the Clockwork coming around on the tower with the Treants taking the tower hits. But again, this is not looking like it's going to be a kill.
A little bit of a puzzling situation occurring, but the Legion Commander manages to slip away. Lifestealer's looking at Midas first item, so he'll have that in the next minute or two.
Lifestealer going straight Midas, but is this really the optimal move as we take a look over by this little secret shop area? They take out the Clockwork, and now they might actually just take out this Nature's Prophet. They're going to get 2 kills with this. It's going to be the Illuminate that flies through from the Coddle, and they get the second one on the Nature's Prophet. I was going to say, you know, the game was moving quite well for Infamous, where they were putting on this heavy aggression onto Infamous Young. Was Midas going to be quick enough for him?
Puck's putting a little bit of pressure on this Lifestealer bottom, and there's really no one to help the Lifestealer if Dire make a huge rotation down. I think they already took the tier 1 mid, so they're flexible of, or Infamous is flexible of what move they make next. They can just take over the jungle, or they can go for the bottom tier 1. Looks like they're gonna go on this Lifestealer in the next little bit.
And you see the Lifestealer Waning Rift there, as well as the Dream Coil with the Illusory Orb flying over. That's an easy kill for Infamous.
Yep, and the Lifestealer was so close to the Midas as well. They're gonna take the tower here.
So
I think the fact that this Viper is so behind makes it really hard for Infamous Young to defend any of their towers, especially since you know, Lifestealer is not a hero that can just walk into the fight and get stuff done. He needs someone to actually give him the mobility required, and really there's no hero to do that until there's a blink on Earthshaker or Legion Commander.
Now they have the blink on the puck. They'll take this tier 1 over bottom, so 2 towers taken for Infamous. Despite those 2 deaths over by the secret shop, they look almost perfect.
Yep. Nature's Prophet just about done the drums. Puck working on that blink next. Actually quite difficult for Infamous Young to make any moves at the moment. So I think they're just stuck trying to get as much out of the map as possible until they're ready to fight. Midas is complete on the Lifestealer. He has that coming over.
Hopefully Nature's Prophet doesn't grab that courier.
Dire's top tower needs some
Not looking like it, but it would be very sad if that recipe couldn't make it over to the Lifestealer. And they're actually putting the courier into the trees to make sure he doesn't go after it, because this item's so crucial to the Lifestealer in the rest of their game. But you take a look up top, they're looking towards getting this Legion, Waning Rift, and the kill. As Nature's Prophet moves around the map again and grabs himself another assist, this time 1, 1, and 4. And that'll be the last tier 1 tower for the side of Infamous Young, as they'll glyph, but it's not going to keep this tower up.
Yep. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to go for another, or if Infamous just look for a kill. Looks like they back off for now, though. Clockwork's hitting level 6, or already hit level 6, and Silencer's level 7, so they're actually farming like 3 lanes and the jungle at the same time, so they're getting a lot more out of the map than Infamous Young.
Now 3,000 net worth, looking pretty good in terms of net worth and experience, both at around 4,000. Just Infamous playing a perfect game to the T, and there's really, at least at this moment in time, there looks to be no answer from Infamous Young.
Yep. So I think the problem for Infamous Young is even if they initiate, the Clockwork can cog the Lifestealer, which is a huge pain for him. There's a global silence, so there's really no follow-up to a potential duel or Echo Slam, and Infamous Young have to try to make some kills happen on the map, presumably with their Earthshaker. I think in an ideal scenario, the Lifestealer is farmed enough to 3-shot an opponent within his rage.
It seems like they also just lack their initiation without the Blink Daggers on the Earthshaker and the Legion.
Oh, for sure.
Without that initiation, you can't really run into this team. You've got Clockwork who could cogs you. If you rage as the Lifestealer, all of a sudden, you know, that's wasted. It just seems like they need those items, and if there's going to be a move made by Infamous Young, it's going to come there.
Yep. Infamous smoke into the enemy jungle. They don't find anyone, but they get two very good wards. In fact, one of these wards is about to spot Viper. No, Viper backs off.
Fissure comes out onto the Nature's Prophet down bottom, and it just... They can't even get anything out of that. You've got now the Troll Warlord coming in, Clockwork ready with the hook shot, but it doesn't matter. There's that first hit bash. They'll get the kill on the Lifestealer. Dream Coil and the hook shot used to get the kill on this Earthshaker. So 2 kills for the price of none in favor of Infamous.
Yep. The Troll Warlord starting to barrel down the bottom lane. Top lane, not in the best condition for Infamous, but there's really no hero to hit this at the moment, and I think they're going to get this tier 2 for free. Infamous can look to maybe secure Roshan in the next couple of minutes as well. See this Viper rush the 4-staff just for the Clockwork.
They don't even lose their tier 1 up top.
Yep, looks like Infamous are just resetting, trying to get the lanes out, defending their tier 1s as much as they can. Might get a duel on the Silencer.
I'm looking for the duel. They do get it. Is it going to be a kill quick enough? They got the Nature's Prophet coming in. They do get the duel win, but is this going to cost the Legion her life? No, she'll be able to TP out, and now they'll chase the Coddle. And look for this kill. Sprout's not going to spot him. He actually goes up and will TP out as well. So,
Patrol Warlord gets started on Roshan, and I think this will be not quite the win condition, but it will help Infamous get a lot more out of the map. Maybe finish these tier 2s or even go for a tier 3, because Infamous Young aren't really in a position to defend at the moment. The best they can do is they can spam it out with Coddle, which could be enough, but
Recoil used over mid. Legion in a lot of trouble. Still alive. Phase shift there. Battery assault comes in. Legion survives with the 4-staff coming out from the Viper, but now they're still trying to chase. Illusory Orb finishes that off. They'll get themselves the Roche and the Aegis. Infamous Young, they just survived the onslaught for now, just losing the Legion, but that is still just quite a deficit for them to make up, as now they've got the Troll with the Aegis.
And, you know, they get the Aegis, they get the Legion Commander kill, Puck slips away, Infamous are in a really good position, so I think they're going to start pushing out their lanes. And, Nature's Prophet might go for a kill here. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Oh, my.
A Shadow Blade hit hurts a lot, apparently, and
Like, that Echo Slam does not. That was... I don't know if that was just anger. There was no way that was going to do anything to the Nature's Prophet to save his life.
Yeah. Maybe just a panic. But Infamous, they push up bottom, mid's pushed out. The only lane that's not pushed out right now is top, but that tower... Oh, it looks like Nature's Prophet's going to push out top, so... Infamous are in a position to just play up on the enemy team right now, since all of the lanes are going to be in their favor.
And the silencer coming through. Hookshot comes in from the Clockwork Global. Silence, no rage for him. Last word should be enough. And it will be. Silencer gets the kill. They'll clear off this Lifestealer. They now look towards getting this Viper. Can they get a bash? No. They'll be able to TP out.
Not quite strong as a 17%, so no bash there.
So 12 to 4, 6K net worth lead. They'll continue on forward to this tier 2 up top. And as I say that, they all just go different directions, not towards the tower. And will be a Puck getting a kill bottom on an Earthshake.
Infamous Young just can't catch a break. Getting picked off everywhere on the map, and Legion Commander is only 600 gold away from her blink, but there's really nowhere for her to farm. I mean, there's these wards in their jungle that haven't been dewarded. Infamous have full vision of both the Viper, or sorry, the Coddle and the Legion Commander right now, and they're starting to walk towards the Legion Commander. Might actually catch him here.
Yeah, there's the Shadow Blade, or just the invis from the Silencer. I heard Shadow Blade coming out from.
Got a couple of rotations coming into the mid lane.
Coddle standing still. They ping out. Silencer.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of deep push coming from Infamous Young. You have the Illuminate from the Coddle and the Overwhelm from Legion Commander, so definitely not easy for Troll to just walk up and hit the tower, especially since he's only sitting on 1300 health. And looks like they're having a shared jungling experience in the ancient camp. So
top, and finally an Echo Slam, that looks good. Fissure comes in with the Lifestealer hitting away at this Puck. That's a 6-kill streak ended, and a tier 1 going their way as well. So
the blink reveal on the Earthshaker.
Well worth a kill, and exactly what we were waiting for in terms of Infamous Young finding anything is blink daggers happening. Now blink on the Legion Commander. Down 5,000 net worth, nothing too crazy to overcome. We've seen worse, we've seen higher. Maybe this is where the game starts to turn. You have that initiation.
Yep. So Infamous Young, they can just continue to look for pickoffs, make sure that the enemy team is out of position, but looks like Nature's Prophet's going to scout out some of them.
Yep, Lifestealer in a bit of trouble. Nature's Prophet here. There's the open wounds as well as the Rage. Hookshot's going to hit on this Lifestealer. And he's going to be in a whole bunch of trouble as Waning Rift will clean him up. So Puck gets instant revenge.
Yep. Now they do know that the Earthshaker's around, but I don't think they have anything to catch him with, so it'll just be a Lifestealer kill for now, and Legion Commander might actually get this mid-tier 1 off the exchange. Or not.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So both these teams playing a bit cautious. Infamous, knowing now that they have Blink Daggers on these heroes, don't want to be picked off by any means. They're looking for the last two tier 2s that's standing for Infamous Young. They've got a lot of mobility and quite a bit of vision going their way, and Infamous doing very well with what they've got on the board.
Yep. Aegis should be expiring anytime now.
Earthshaker coming in, showing the TP as well as the Lifestealer. They've got Viper trying to get a kill here on the Silencer. He'll be stopped by the Fissure. That should be an easy one. They'll take one. And a little too split up from Infamous, and they pay for it.
Oh, and the Aegis is now expired, so Infamous probably looking to just reset, get more out of the map, and wait for the next Roshan. Realistically, the only way they push is if they somehow pick off the, well, at least 2 of Infamous Young's heroes. There's just too much anti-push coming out of their lineup, so not a bad way to play for Infamous. Since they have an Aegis Prophet, they have a Troll, they have a Puck. These 3 heroes can split push and farm extremely effectively. You even have the Lincolns on the Troll, so...
Yeah, Infamous Young starting to pick up those big-time items. They've got the Desolator now on this Lifestealer, Blinks on both the Earthshaker and the Legion, Hurricane Pike for the Viper, and, you know, they took that Silencer out easily. Obviously not a core position for Infamous, but they're definitely showing their strengths and their ability to pull themselves out of this 5,000 net worth deficit.
Yeah, one of the problems for Infamous's lineup, though, is that the Pucks and Nature's Prophets generally don't get items that make them any tankier in fights. I mean, at most, the Nature's Prophet gets a BKB, but that does mean that they have to be careful with their positioning. And
there it is, duel with the Infest Pop. Silencer dead again, but they look like they might want to turn this. Waning Rift comes down on the Lifestealer. He's going to be hit by this Nature's Prophet as well as the Puck. Finally gets himself off the Rage, as well as the open wounds on the Nature's Prophet, so they take out 2, and they're looking for more. Hurricane Pike forward. There it is. Echo Slam on the Puck, who blinks into the wrong spot. They look like they're going to get Troll as well. Clockwork the only one alive, and he's coming in from the back of this fight. Maybe not the best area to be behind this entire side of Infamous Young.
Really good pickoff and turnaround from Infamous Young. I mean, they're starting to close the gap, and I certainly see a scenario where this Troll actually just dies, but looks like Infamous Young decide to push out the lanes instead.
Attempt a hook shot. It's going to be a miss. Not going to be able to stop the Coddle TP either.
Nature Commander is starting to get really close to her Blade Mill, actually, so might be problematic for the Nature's Prophet and Troll if she manages to get a duel off on one of those heroes.
So that 5,000 net worth lead completely evaporated, and Infamous finding themselves in quite a poor spot.
I think given Infamous's lineup, they should understand that they can't afford to get caught out at all. They don't really have a frontliner that's willing to eat all of these spells. Like, they need all of their heroes alive in order to function in a team fight, and as a result, you can't let the Silencer get caught out or the Puck get caught out like that again. So I think they should just do their best to split push safely and fight together when they can, because when they are together, they have a lot of burst potential and teamfight potential.
Nature's Prophet going to be scanned out over in the jungle, placing some deep wards here for his team. Looking still for that Orchid. He does have enough for that recipe, throwing the ult around. Does hit pretty hard with a couple of these teammates coming over smoke, so they take out a big chunk of the Legion Commander's health. They'll find themselves the Coddle. They'll get the kill. They'll try to clean up for now. They finally get
Legion
one. The hook shot comes in on the Legion Commander, who's trying to get the kill on the Clockwork, doing a very good job with some high damage output, but not going to be enough. So they've lost 2. They might lose more as the Lifestealer is in a bad spot. And here comes a pause. Go again so quickly. There's the pause, and here we go once more. Blinking forward is going to be that, or illusory forward is going to be this puck, and Lifestealer does get out.
Yep, and Roshan is up, so Infamous have the option to go for that.
From what I was reading, I think both these teams are in the same gaming house. It's just odd that one team would need to pause and the other doesn't.
Hardware issue?
Maybe. Semantics at this point. As Infamous, they're going to look for their second rush of the game.
I used to play with someone that had a wireless mouse, and it would disconnect every, like, once a week, and we would always yell at him to buy an actual mouse, or like a wired mouse, or to get a new wireless mouse.
So buy himself a little bit of that gamer gunk. Don't want that computer lagging in anyway.
Yeah. Download the RAM.
I love that website. Bookmarks.
BKB queued up for the Troll Warlord. He needs that this game, and you know it's a good timing for him to get a 2. He's 700 gold away. He has the Aegis, so they might be able to take a tier 3 or try to make a big team fight happen. Then no, it's like I see 2 scenarios in which Infamous end the game, because they are in the position to end the game right now, and I think one of them is they somehow take a really good team fight if Infamous Young gets caught out of their base. Or if that doesn't happen within this Aegis, then there a little bit of skirmishing happening mid.
Yeah, they're trying to. It looks like they're trying to chase that troll. Might even try.
I think
to
the other win condition is if Puck hits level 25, gets that gold.
Oh, this could be a good spot for an Echo Slam. They've got themselves the duel that's going to come out on the Troll. Troll is hitting into that Blade Mail. The Global Silence is going to come out with the Dream Coil out on 3. They finally pop the Aegis, but that might cost the light up for the Legion. Just getting away. The Dream Coil finally snaps. They haven't gotten anything just yet on either side. They only take out the Aegis. They lose the Legion Commander on the back end. You take a look as Coddle's going to get that kill on the Puck in the return. So that is going to be 1 apiece. But they're looking to continue to chase. I don't think Silencer's going to drop. Nothing to stop that TP. All the while, Nature's Prophet pushing bottom.
Troll Warlord.
They're going to find this Troll, recalling this Lifestealer, trying to continue forward on a chase, but not quick enough, and no way are they getting it.
Yeah, that was a really good team from Infamous Young, so they kept breaking the Lincolns on the Troll Warlord, and basically a Blade Mail duel on that Troll. That's like the Troll Warlord is gonna die every time, and so they got that off, managed to get rid of the Aegis, and I think it was just a little bit of an overextension from the Puck that caused Puck to lose his life. He kind of went in on the Legion Commander in the back to finish him off, but didn't have the cheese in his actual inventory. I think decided to keep the regen rune in the bottle instead of having the cheese instead of the wand, which is a little confusing, but didn't lose too much. Infamous did lose their window with that Aegis to make something happen though, and
Qualifier is going to show that Lifestealer with Puck and the Nature's Prophet nearby. They have the Orchid ready on the Nature's Prophet. If they did want to try and go in on that, but I don't know if the 2 alone could get themselves a kill.
So Infamous Young are actually not in a bad position. I mean, they're better at team fighting when they get that duel off on the Troll, and
you take a look over towards top. Lifestealer in a bit of trouble. He'll drop to the Nature's Prophet. They use Dream Coil as well as that Orchid to get themselves the kill. And 18-10 in favor of Infamous. No buyback for that Lifestealer. The opportunity to push has now come for Infamous main.
I think if they manage to get a Blade Mail duel on the Troll will pretty much always die. There's really no way for them to save him, and Lifestealer is starting to work on a Manta style just to be able to break any Orchids or Silences, so I don't think Infamous Young are out of this game quite yet, but it looks pretty bad.
They're going to lose this tier 2 mid. We'll see if Infamous continue to push. They don't have the Aegis, so
Yeah, it's really difficult for them to push as well because the Keeper of Light has the Aghanim Scepter. Not only do you have to deal with Illuminate spam, but you have to deal with Blinding Light spam. And
they're looking to double back. They actually don't get the Sprout. They get the hook shot coming in on the Coddle, as well as the Cogs. He'll Force Staff himself out, or be Force Staff from the Viper. Global Silence comes through. They'll lose the Legion Commander on the back. Now you take a look as these two heroes running away, Viper and the Earthshaker. The Arcane Curse is going to slow him down. They've got the puck there. Phase shift to avoid the fissure. No Dream Coil just yet, but they've come on over. They're looking for the Earthshaker. No vision, I don't think, for the Earthshaker. And now the turnaround is here for Viper and the rest of the team. A huge Echo Slam comes out on 2. They'll take out both the Clockwork as well as the Silencer. I think they also got the kill on the Troll right there. So 3 drop from a nice Echo Slam, as well as the combination of the Illuminate and the rest of this team onto Infamous. And they do turn it around quite nicely.
yeah, Infamous definitely overcommitted, chasing there without having really any information about the Earthshaker. Well, mainly the Earthshaker's position. So the Earthshaker managed to get a really big Echo Slam there. And I think the ideal situation for Infamous now is where they go for pickoffs when the enemy team tries to push, but that net worth lead is starting to disappear, and Viper's starting to reach that stage where he can actually get a lot done in these fights. He's got the Hurricane Pikes.
Onto this Nature's Prophet BKB. There's the duel and another winner. Chicken dinner for the Legion Commander.
Infamous Young played the last 2 minutes of the game really well. See if that translates to a reverse in the lead, but Infamous definitely have the advantage for split pushing right now. We'll see if they manage to press that.
You really need something to spot out that Earthshaker, who's that really lost them that fight.
Yep. Someone needs a gem, and it looks like Silencer actually picks up the gem and gives it to the Puck. So the 2 timings when Puck's really strong is that Veil Blink timing, which is like level 10, 15-ish. And then the other time Puck is really strong is with that plus 420 GPM at level 25 when you just get the 6-7 slot for free. And I see that being one of the win conditions for Infamous. Unfortunately, Infamous can't really... Realistically, they can't push unless the entirety of Infamous's young team is dead or too low to fight, because there's just way too much counter push coming out of Radiant's team. And so one way Puck can prevent this is to get that Ags, get that Hex, and then maybe just like a Dagon 5 E-Blade to delete people from the game.
They're actually coming over
Silencer's
on this.
Gonna get caught here.
Yeah, Silencer is so... Free duel. Free damage. Always looking nice.
A little bit of a ward excursion leads to free duel damage, so Legion Commander is not complaining about that one. There's a Hex coming up on the Nature's Prophet, which should be pretty big because they can start going on kills like the Slave Stealer, who's just alone on the bottom right of the map. And definitely with this call, you have the vision advantage for Radiant now, especially if they pick up a gem.
I think they have had a gem. Yeah, they do have a gem.
I don't think
on
they've purchased
Earthshaker
one yet. Oh, it is on Earthshaker, you're right.
So 3,000 net worth lead, 33 minutes in, 1-0 game-wise lead for Infamous. Trying to close out this best of 3 between them and Infamous Young. And we'll see if they're able to pull that off as they
Silencer might get caught.
A couple of leads. Silencer, I feel like he doesn't know where to go, really.
It's a little odd for him. The enemy team has a lot of vision, or they're just... So... I mean, the troll wants to sit on his side of the map and farm since he doesn't want to get dueled or potentially just Echo Slammed and killed, so... The split pushing is really just done by the Puck and the Nature's Prophet.
Earthshaker walks right into the troll. They don't spot him. He's infested with a life stealer.
So they're going to use that information to go on the Puck instead if you can vision him. Might bump into him here.
Ulti comes through. That spots out the Earthshaker. That should be a quick retreat for Infamous. Luckily enough for them. But they could still likely go in with a nice blink.
Yeah. And nothing really lost except the Lifestealer's time, but this Lifestealer is doing really well this game. Managed to catch up from that rocky start, partially in thanks to that Midas, and partially in thanks to a lot of those key pickoffs that occurred in the mid game with that Earthshaker blink. Both teams are just waiting for an opportunity to pick off an enemy. Jan.
And top looks like that's going to be their opportunity on the Nature's Prophet. Duel comes in with the Blade Mail. Another duel win, and they'll just recall this Legion back as they start heading in for Roche. They have Rocket Flare. I think they know it's happening, but they know they can't contest.
And the game's actually quite difficult for Infamous if they have this Aegis, because this Viper's already pretty much unkillable with Hurricane Pike and Butterfly, and now you gotta kill him 3 times over with Aegis and Cheese. So they're probably gonna use this Viper to push. They have about 10 seconds of daytime, so obviously they won't have the Coddle Ag spells, but they can definitely still push this by just watching the Viper hit the tower, and as well as the Lifestealer.
Flare is going to be placed on top of this
Can't really
middle.
split push because of Nature's Prophet's down.
Puck is just trying to cut this creep wave, but they've already lost the tier 3. They're going to lose half a set of this Rax. The duel deep into this base onto the Silencer. Looks like they'll at least get one. There it is, and now with half the Rax down, full Rax down, they should just try and retreat as they've taken a lead in this game, and they get the first set of Rax and tier 3. Look towards this Puck, who might be in trouble, blinks away, but Echo Slam comes in from the Earthshaker as well as the Infest Fissure to follow it up. 2 die. Infamous wiped out just like that. That is a buyback coming in from the Puck. No buyback yet from the Troll, but this is them continuing to siege on Infamous Young.
Yep. I mean, normally I think Infamous Young would go for a second Rax here, but there's still 2 tier 2s alive, and Nature's Prophet's starting to push down bottom, and now this puts Infamous in a really weird position. I think they're playing ahead for so long, and now this lead's gone. 4 Warlords really not equipped to deal with all these heroes, and look.
You just fought back, so you really can't fall off here, and you will. 95 seconds, no buyback.
Yeah, Legion Commander's starting to push down bottom, so could be a second Rax, or maybe Infamous Young might even consider just ending the game through Throne.
So it was once a 5K lead for the side of Infamous is now a 10,000 net worth lead for Infamous Young. 20-19, 38 minutes into this game. They've got a set of Racks down mid. Infamous, they seem sort of lost.
They really do. It's exceedingly difficult for them to kill the Viper and the Lifestealer, at least when Infamous Young are grouped up. So maybe just continue split pushing, try to defend your next set of racks, but not much they can do here. Especially when you have this Aegis Cheese Viper coming through top lane.
So push through top, continuing to go for this tier 3. Cogs will be placed. Immediately wiped out, and let's see, can Infamous hold? They've got themselves an Arcane Curse on 3. Maybe they can get a kill, but they still have to work through this Aegis. They've got the Bloodthorn out on the Viper. They're looking for a dual. Troll push to the low ground. Echo Slam comes in on him. Global Silence not in there in time. So now they try to turn it around. The BKB is going to be popped by Troll. They're looking for more. They're looking for something. They've got themselves a Lifestealer as well as the Earthshaker. So that's 2 dead. Lifestealer is going to drop. He'll be the first one to drop. Dead for 90 seconds. No buyback. Here comes the Nature's Prophet. They're looking for a kill on the Viper. It's going to be at least the Aegis for now, as BKB is going to be used by this Nature's Prophet. They've got the Troll in there in the trees. Another Bloodthorn is used, and down goes the Viper. They hold this top tier 3 and racks and hold this game that much longer.
Yeah, bit of an overextension with that dive from Infamous Young there, but I think the big thing that turned the team fight was as the Legion Commander was going for the for the duel on the troll, the silencer just got his global silence up, so that really prevented anything from happening during that that dive, and really the troll was able to survive, pop his cheese, and just turn the fight.
So now no life stealer for 35 seconds, but still they don't really find a good enough push just yet. They have 30 seconds to work with, so let's see if they can at least get a tier 3 of their own. And let's see as they move forward with this creep wave. Illuminate just clears it up.
It's a bit tough. There's just so much nuke damage from Radiant, and they really can't slip up because the troll and the puck don't have buyout. So if they lose either of those heroes, I just imagine them losing the entire game. So they're just gonna back off, play it safe, get the lanes out, and wait for the next opportunity. But certainly they demonstrated there that they're still capable of winning team fights. They just have to produce the correct type of team fight, which is where the troll doesn't get, or no one gets dueled, and the global silence is effective.
They could hold like that one more time, you know, maybe the game starts to go in their favor, but they had their moment to really have their time, have the game in their favor to push these towers, and they never went for it. And now they're the ones really heavily defending.
Yep.
This game seemingly changed once Legion and Earthshaker got their blinks.
I mean, even though they're 5k net worth, there's just so much burst potential from the Troll Warlord and the Bloodthorn on Ninja's Prophet. So both teams just still have to be really careful with their positioning and which fights they decide to take. And it looks like Infamous Young are taking the initiative. They're starting to TP heroes.
Yeah, they're looking towards mid. Troll showing himself. There's a couple heroes here for Infamous Young, but the smoke is there from Infamous, and they'll go around the long way. Hookshot not even going to connect. They're going to look for the Legion Commander. There's the Yules. Try and lock him up. The BKB is going to be used. They've got the Blade Mail. Troll starting to hit onto this Legion. Down she goes for the count of 90 seconds. They picked off that Legion quite easily, and they're going to look for more with this Coddle. Blinding Light keeps him alive for 2 seconds longer. He'll be dead as well.
Yep, Roshan up in 130. Infamous probably just gonna get the lanes out. They somehow still can't push because they're probably not sure if Coddle and Legion have their bio, and Coddle does have her buyout, so no pushing happening here. Meanwhile, this Viper's just getting more and more farms.
Yeah, just continuing to farm up bottom. It hasn't really been contested except for that fight up top where he did drop twice, so it is possible to kill the Viper, but a lot of the other teammates were dead or gone.
I still think that Infamous have the better late game in this game just because the 6-slotted puck is so annoying to deal with. And rip.
Troll is caught with this fissure, forced after the low ground.
Yeah. A late game puck in Nature's Prophet is just so much harder to deal with than what Radiant have. So I'd still give this game to Infamous if the game goes long enough. Starting to work on that Aghanims on the puck too, and puck just hit level 25. So really the
420 gold.
Yeah. Got that government payout.
Subsidized check coming in.
Yeah. Is it more like tax returns actually?
420.
Or an RSP? Isn't it like a RSP? I don't know what you have. RSP is like. You guys have a name for it. The retirement fund.
Social Security.
No, that one.
420k.
And there you go, 420k.
It's the puck 420k.
It's a retirement fund. You know, you hit that age.
Pay your taxes
the game
on
starts
time.
Paying you free gold.
I remember when this game started, and I started my 420k.
All right, there's a smoke coming from Infamous. You're gonna catch this lifestealer.
Right into the lifestealer. Smoke's gonna be broken. They actually don't go in. Puck looks to turn around. Hook shot comes through, and that will hit on the Legion Commander. Global Song is gonna follow it up. It's gonna be purged by the Manta style of the lifestealer, who looks to kill off this Clockwork and will. That was melee to the low ground, it seemed like. Now they've
Not
got
the
the
initiation
fissure,
they
the
wanted.
duel out on the troll. Dream Coil comes through, but that's a dead clock and a dead troll.
I think that's not the target that the puck wanted to spot. You can't really go on the lifesteal because the puck doesn't have a hex or any way of dealing with the manta on the lifesteal. So I think instead of continuing to initiate there with a clockwork, I believe they should have just backed off after not finding the target they wanted. Either they find the Legion or the Earthshaker, really.
This is, again, Aegis on the Viper. It should be, and it looks like it will be. Aegis and Cheese goes the way of Infamous Young. And they have another crack at it in terms of finishing off this game.
Yep, daytime in 2.5 minutes, so they can wait for that, or Infamous Young can just go now. But the one thing they have to worry about is there's like a bajillion range creeps in the bottom lane, as well as the threat of a Nature's Prophet pushing. So someone should probably TP down there, get it pushed out, and get recalled back in. So
See if they do actually go back to push. Legion showing herself over mid. Hookshot comes in, hits on two. The Cogs are going to be not blocking them in. And now he has to try and continue run back to his base, but he's mana leaked. Viper will handily, or not, take care of this clockwork. Meanwhile, the duel comes out, but he's going to be used up on the silencer, and now they'll get themselves at least one. They've got the Dream Coil on 2 of these heroes, but it's not going to be enough to stop anything. Waning Rift comes out on 3, but again, they can't stop this Rax from being taken. You take a look. Nature's Prophet, bottom Rax gone. He pushed all the way through. BKB's, TP's back, so Rax for Rax. Nature's Prophet ratting this game out.
Yep. I mean, that really keeps Infamous in the game, because now there's one left lane to win. They have so much split push coming out of the puck on the Nature's Prophet, so they're still in the game, and because of that, their lanes will never be in like too bad of a position where they can't just continue to rat. So Infamous Young, they know that. They draw a straight line through the bottom lane, saying, hey, we need to push through this lane just to eliminate any chance of getting ratted.
Take a look at this Viper. Plus 20 armor, so 42 armor for this Viper. Take a look at the Legion, 128 dual damage. They did not elect to go for the plus 40 dual damage bonus.
That's boring. I mean, this is definitely the better talent considering the game, since he's not really. He can pretty much kill anyone right now, so it doesn't matter if he gets more and more damage. I mean, the only time the dual damage really matters if you're hitting a building.
So Nature's Prophet going to be pushing top, while the side of Infamous Young is here bottom.
You got vision of the Legion, I think? Nope, got dewarded. Now it's dewarded. Should actually
Shaker.
maybe.
We'll take that bottom tier 2, and now they'll look towards getting this bottom tier 3 in the last set of racks, but they're going to go in on this puck. The phase shift is going to avoid the totem. And now there's the Cogs to block them out after the fissure. They're trying to hit away at this Viper. It doesn't really feel like they're doing too much, but now down to about half health. Hookshot comes in. Can they follow it up? The open wound's going to be out on the clockwork. He's going to be forced that back to the high ground. And they haven't gotten anything on either side just yet. Nature's Prophet, he's back, ready to fight. He's not going to be pushing this time around, as nothing's really close to the Radiant side base. They'll take out the tier 3. Viper takes it out. Dream Coil comes out on 2. But again, they haven't found any kills on the side of Infamous. BKB's going to be popped around the horn. They're going to get themselves the lifesteal. BKB's popped by both the Nature's Prophet as well as the Troll on the side of Infamous. Infamous Young, they've got the Viper just hitting away at the silencer, trying to take something out. Sprout is not going to hit. Viper still just hitting away. Earthshaker finds himself a kill on the silencer, and on the back end, they get the duel on the Troll. Troll is going to be hitting into this blade mail. He might be in a little bit of trouble, but he's going to be stunned. That actually saves his life. Echo Slam comes through. They take out the Troll. He's going to buy back immediately, and now they look towards this Legion commander. He's going to be sprouted up. Finally eats that cheese, and Punk and Nature's Prophet trying to kill off at least something on the retreat. Hookshot's not going to hit. Clockwork is looking like he's going to drop. He finally hits the deck, and now he's dead for 70 seconds. No buyback. And Legion commander with that blade mail still staying alive, and now Nature's Prophet falls and buys back after this fight continues to rage on, with Troll finally dropping. Puck drops as well. GG is called by Infamous, and Infamous Young tie the series up as at 1 with a very nice team fight over bottom.
Well, Infamous played the beginning of the game really well, mid-game, but Infamous Young, their high ground defense was just so strong, and it stalled the game long enough for them to get so many pickoffs that they just climbed their way back into the game.
It was never a crazy lead for the side of Infamous, only about 6,000. But Infamous Young, they pulled it back, got it in their favor, and then they really turned on the gas and brought it to Infamous, winning this game too, making it even at 1. So after the first 2 games, we're even. And what do you think coming into Game 3?
Well, I think both of these teams showed that they can win, obviously, and it feels like Infamous always have the advantage in the early game, so I think if they pull that off again, except this time hold their lead, they should be able to take Game 3.
So we'll be back with that Game 3 of Infamous Bowl, in between Infamous and Infamous Young. I'm your caster, B-Cop, joined here by Franz at BCop92 on Twitter. He is at Hello Franz on Twitter. We'll be back with Game 3 in just a moment. Stay right there. We're back soon.